Getting your first few paying customers is one of the most exciting milestones for startups. It helps you validate your idea, get feedback to improve your product, and of course, attract investors. Yet, it can be quite scary, especially if you don't have a big marketing and sales budget. In this episode, I'll share with you some hacks that you can use starting today. And even if you already have customers, I can promise you that you will discover new areas and techniques that you haven't tried yet. Welcome to the Mary Poppins of Startups live show. I'm Naily Makangu from Athena Leaders. As a tech consultant and startup advisor, I will share with you live the tips and I will answer the burning question that you have on your way to Series A+. Subscribe and tune in every week for top tips and meet amazing guests, startup founders, investors, and more. More importantly, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, let's look at my top 6 hacks to get early customers, and I'm sure there's going to be a bonus for you in this episode. So keep on watching until the end. Number 1, build your brand whilst you are creating your product. And this one, I really have to emphasize that. I've seen it time and time again when working with startups, especially from those with a technical background that really enjoy coding and research with clients and what it is. Even if you have the best idea, even if you have people that you've spoken to are like, yes, we really want your product. Remember, the principle of build it and they will come doesn't apply. The last thing you want to do is when you open the door to your shop, you expect people to line up out there and you look out, there's nobody. They never even heard of you or your product. And in fact, this is something that we looked at in our previous episode, and I believe it was episode 68 with Colin House, who is the global director for the Founder Institute. I will highly recommend that after this episode, you also listen to that one because we really delved in different areas of business development and getting new customers. It's important to really grow your own personal and brand, your own personal brand, but also the brand of your company, right? To avoid the build it and they will come phenomenon. But how do you do that? Because I know that you might think, we've got a lot of things to do. Marketing is not my thing. I'm being pulled in different directions. Remember, people buy from people. It's better if you can become a thought leader. This way they have someone that they can connect with. When I first started my business, I can really empathize with anybody out there that just feels uncomfortable with social media and marketing. And in fact, some of my social media platforms were open just after I started my business. And I put my hand up. I really hated anything to do with marketing and business development. I was just happy to sit there, work with my clients, build their products, work with their tech teams, all of that fun stuff. Unfortunately, marketing is part of growing your personal brand and attracting clients. And this is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way, and I'm giving it to you for free. So do please spend some time into that. And what are the ways that I started, right? Especially if you take into account that, you are a busy entrepreneur. Look into social media. I will advise posting, but before we even get to that, think about joining discussions. Follow experts in your fields, experts that your customers will also follow. Join the discussion, give your 2 cents, give value, give, and you don't know what comes back to you. More importantly, anyone looking for you will check your own social media page, or let's say your LinkedIn page, or whatever is your favorite place that you go. And if they can see some activities, they have an idea of who you are. The next one is content marketing. That one, yes, I do appreciate that it's difficult. For me, what I started before I had, the team that I have, which really, really was a big, time saver and a big, a gold sign for me, was I started my posting twice a week, twice or 3 times a week. I even started doing that before I started my business, just to kind of, connect in the network. But then when I started my business, I did it even more. And in fact, what I do with other entrepreneurs and startup founders that I work with is to send them a list of a few questions that they can answer. And I usually don't even tell them why, because if I tell them why, they will overthink it. And that's the point. I send them a list of questions, and when they answer that, I look into that, and then break it down and speak to them, and then try to break it down into different posts. And just by answering that list of questions, they have enough posts for a month or even a bit more. It's something that they can post, once or twice a week, and then other things, I give them other strategy for posting. So if you want to have that list of questions, then please do put a comment in this episode, and I'm more than happy to share that. We'll put something on my website or just reach out to you directly. Find me on social media, especially LinkedIn, #AthenaLeaders, and I'm happy to share that with you. Whatever strategy you need, sometimes we do overthink marketing, and especially when it comes to personal branding. When you don't have time, yes, you might not have a really strong content strategy or a massive plan. But as I said, posting twice or 3 times a week, being out there is actually a lot easier than you think. Start with that. And as you have more time, or as you grow, as you can afford to work with a fantastic team like mine, then you will be able to do much bigger, more strategic things. But at least some people would have already noticed you and are coming with you along the way, and they can see your journey as they grow, as they've seen with mine. The second one is crowdfunding, right? Crowdfunding for product validation and market fit. Now, as you see in the thread for the thing that I'm going to talk about today, there's something that I really want to bring together. Is there a way where you can get some money, or you can get product and market validation and also get clients? Because if you can have strategies that bring the three together, then that's a win-win. And there's a lot of things out there that I've noticed other people are when I speak to a startup advisor at events or something like that, they're like, well, I've never used that. I never thought about it. Because I work a lot with tech teams, and my obsession is making sure that we have the right products, we have the right markets, there's no bugs, people are testing, we get feedback so that I can improve the iteration of the next product and all of that great stuff. So those are some tools that you can use that can help you in different areas of your business. So when it comes to crowdfunding, look at platforms such as Kickstarters and Indiegogo. With those platforms, you can get people to even pre-order, so even before you've launched, get an idea of people who really are going to open their purse for your product. And in fact, another way of using that is also for promotion, right? So if you want feedback and you want to know people's reaction, those platforms, they build a community, so the people are going to share their thoughts with what you've done. And more importantly, if you've got something on Kickstarter, well, guess what? Just creating that page gives you content that you can then put on your social media for your own personal branding and for the branding of your company, whilst at the same time, you are also using Kickstarter. And in fact, you can also advertise that you are on Kickstarter on your social media. So there you go, one thing, and then you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. The third one is to join a community of early adopters. Kind of like Kickstarter, but it goes deeper. And this one is my personal favorite because it really helps you to get into the intersection of getting really, really good feedback from people testing your products for you and giving you ideas on features that they will get. They've opened their purse and they bought the product from you. They've already bought it. It's not even a pre-order. And then of course, you get to grow a product and get customers that will help you attract investors. The best platform I will mention, of course, there's a ton out there, right? So I'm going to mention AppSumo and Product Hunt. Those two are really, really great because then, especially trying to get feedback. So just focusing on AppSumo for a second. This one is another great platform that I've used myself. And I think over the last couple of years or so, I've bought 4 products from there that I'm still using, right? I see AppSumo as a great place, especially for B2C startups, where they can really, really get people to give them feedback and buy the product, and even see how the product performs against competitive products that are out there. It's free feedback, right? Imagine as if you have a pond and a lake full of people that just love buying new software, knowing that they're going to find some things that might not quite work, right? So they're there. They're just waiting for you. They're waiting for your product. And what happens is once they've bought your products, and you can sell it based on a lifetime deal, or whether it's reduced for like access maybe for a year, and then after that they get and then after that they renew. Regardless of what it is, a lot of people will grade or rate your products, and some of them gave feedback. And wow, this is mind blowing. Look at the quality of feedbacks that you get. And from that, you will know people who have loved your product or not. And usually when they say no, they might explain why. So if you're worried that you're an early stage, do say that you are really early stages, maybe the first version and it's a bit clunky. People will give you feedback and tell you what they like. Maybe they give you 2 stars or maybe 3 stars, but then they will tell you what is it that they think is missing. By reading the feedback, you can get to the thread and understand exactly what are the little things that people really want to improve the experience of what they have. Put that on your roadmap so that when you build future products, you actually know. So going back to what I said earlier in this episode, and it's really about bringing the intersection of the 3 things that are really important to not just get customers, but grow your product. And AppSumo helps you to do that. People pay to get your platform. Once they're there, they are your customers forever. Whenever you have new products, you can notify them, and who knows, if they're already in love with your products, they will get another one. If they don't have a lifetime deal and they get maybe for a year, guess what? They love their product, they will renew. So it's a win-win. In fact, personally, as I said before, I've used AppSumo myself. I use that for my calendar. I got a lifetime deal on that, which is amazing. So if you are an entrepreneur out there or startup founder that really don't see the point of buying so many expensive tools, especially if they don't even have a strategy for the tools, then try AppSumo. My online courses are hosted on a platform that I got on AppSumo. If you're worried about whether people will jump off the boat if they see that features are not all there, don't worry. Because one of the things that's really exciting for me with the product that I got was to see them grow and develop. Some of them are very basic. They did what I needed it to do, but there were some limitations. And 2 years later, I opened the app, I go and start using it, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So many great things. And they've addressed a lot of the feedback that were mentioned on AppSumo. That's a very free advice there, not just for startup founders, but also for any entrepreneurs looking to get some deals, provide feedback, and join the community. Then please look at those kind of communities. As I said before, AppSumo and or Product Hunt are just 2 examples. There are many more out there. Whilst we are on that topic, if you would like to help with your strategy or challenges that you are experiencing, especially in the tech aspect and the product aspect, whether it is to build your MVP, your early product, your version, or even just issue that you have with your team and how to bring your development from an agency, for example, in-house, and you're not exactly sure how to do that, then you're in luck. I've teamed up with a team of experts, tech experts, to really focus on that and give you 1-to-1 mentoring. We are doing it monthly. We have a waiting list. If you don't see anything on our website, then please join the waiting list or reach out to me because you don't want to miss out. Whenever we start, we start offering new spots because obviously places are limited. We first go on our waiting list and then we go to the world. So if you know any startups out there, 2 things. First, ask them to subscribe and like our shows and get in touch with us and let us know what more they want to see. And the second thing, tell them to keep an eye out for the mentoring, the 1-to-1 tech and product mentoring with fantastic tech experts. And we are even bringing more people on board. So watch that space. Where were we? Yes, customers. And how can you get them, especially if you are early stage, strapped for cash in terms of budget for marketing, or even if you have all of those, you just want to find out new tips and tools. What we've looked at so far, first one, build your personal brand and why it's important. The second one was crowdfunding and how it can help you with product validation and market fit. And we looked at joining a community of early adopters. What next? Well, have you thought about joining a top-notch accelerator program? Yes, I know there are many programs out there, and it's really up to you to have a system to really weed out which one are worth your time, which one are not, what benefits you get from them, and what's. But I believe that it could also be the tweak or the help that your startup needs to move forward. Check out Raise Ventures. It's a really, really good accelerator program, and it's run by a wonderful woman called Jenny Irvine. And in fact, Jenny was also a guest on our podcast. And if you want to find out about what investors look for in startups, Jenny is also an investor, then I will suggest that you go and find that episode on our podcast channel, on our YouTube channel. And if you want to find out more about for example, we want to find out more about Raise Ventures, why people should go to accelerators, how they work. We also have a special episode on that because we really want to promote and give more support and help to the startup community. And put my hands up, I am not affiliated in any way with Raise Ventures. I don't get anything for saying that. I'm just sharing my personal experience. I started working with startup founders really, really early stage. He had an idea, non-tech founder, and he just didn't even know where to start. He kind of knew roughly, he wanted to have a team that will develop the product. But even this idea of MVP, I sat down with him trying to get him to explain and talk about his ideas, and he was really struggling. I really helped him through the journey. But one of the things that I noticed from the moment I started working with him and to the way he is after the accelerators, Red Ventures, there was a big difference. When I first talked to him before, he had a lot of ideas, but he didn't have this really strong strategy, product market fit, some aspect of marketing, and so many loose ends that he needed to tighten up in his startup. I helped with the tech and product aspects. I managed the developers offshore and everything. And I got our product built, our MVP built, that we used to go and get our early clients and investors. Yet on the other side, working with an accelerator really helped him to tone and focus his messaging, his pitch, and so much more. I highly recommend that you look for an accelerator program and use that as a way to connect to investors, to connect to other startup founders, because you also never know. You might have a product that someone else on the accelerator might actually find useful, where you can create partnerships and so much more. You're not an island, and I know sometimes it feels like that when you're running your business, but there are many people out there that are ready to help you and to work with you along the way. Number 5, offering consulting services. Now, that's a very important one. Of course, the obvious one, you get some money. Great, why not? But then it raises the question, what if I don't have a lot of time? What if I have a lot of things? What if I have a lot of things to do? And what if it doesn't work for me? Well, there's 2 ways of looking at the consulting services. It's a great way of getting your feet in the door, especially when working with B2B and they have such a long sales process. And if you have a technology platform, oh my God, the stories I can tell about the requirements for them to even integrate with your platform, that's something else. That's for another episode. So if anyone is interested in that, do let me know. And of course, whilst we're there, you have any questions, then put in the show notes, #Leaders. Even afterwards, I'm sure I'll find you an answer. The second way of looking into that as well, and why it's important to think about consulting services, and I say that especially for people, especially technical founders that really fall in love with what they've built. Remember that even if you are solving a problem, which is like a dot, your client will have a square where your problem resides. Can you help them link your dots within that square with other problems that they might have in that square? It could be something as simple as offering a consulting service to help them understand what kind of data, how to clean up the data so that they can send to your platforms. You do whatever magical and wonderful thing you want to do for them. And then when it comes out, you help them also integrate that in their company. It could be that maybe they can work with you. They need to take different pictures for whatever things. They need to interview some clients and customers or whatever it is that they have to do, right? Is there a way that you can help them, even if it's just consulting services, to create the strategy of how they can even better use your platform, or how your platform will help them in with the bigger view, bigger picture, but the consulting service give them something extra. That will help you get a foot through the door, that will help you get some money, that will help you even grow your services, because who knows, you might discover something that you didn't even know that could be offered on the side. And this is, again, another technique I've used with a client of mine. We started chatting, we thought about this thing as an added value that we will do, especially at the beginning. And then we thought, actually, what if this becomes part of our strategy to go into a company to begin with, and also an added service that we can provide to them whilst they are using our platform, and just do some more wonderful thing for them. So think about offering consulting services. Number 6, network, network, network. This one is obvious, but I say that because I know how scary and daunting it can be for certain people. And for others who like networking, I also know how sometimes when life happens, there's tons of things to do, and networking can fall on the side. Remember, this links back to building your personal brand. People buy from people. Your network will help you reach other people that you might not even have thought about, right? When I first starting in my journey to networking, that was way before I started running my business. I was working as an engineer, and I love coding, and I just didn't like the idea of being in a room with people, especially, in Cambridge, where if you're a software engineer, jeans, t-shirts, then you go to a networking event, something a little bit smarter. And I thought, really, do I need to do that? But, I developed throughout the years. I kind of gamified this idea of networking, where when I went in a room, I give myself a goal to talk to 2 people, to random people. And then when I get home, I'm like, yes, I've done that. Get an ice cream. You do that for a while, then you go for another goal, and which can be something else. But what gets exciting is that you become more comfortable. I'm now on version maybe 2 or 3 of my networking game, where now it's more strategical. So when I go networking, I will know roughly what the kind of people I want to interact with, and I push myself to actually approach them, rather than doing it just like the first person I see in the corner, I'm going for them. So that was my version 1 strategy for networking, but now it's more targeted. On the subject of networking, there are other ways you can also do that. That is networking online, right? That's something that is underused at the moment, but I believe that, again, is something that can help you if you don't have a lot of time. I use Lunch Club, which is a platform where I meet people and you talk for about 45 minutes. And the more you use the platform, they get to know you, the kind of people you are looking for. And I've connected with many startup founders, and we've talked about their products. And actually, sometimes it actually looks like a free consultation, but I don't mind. It's 45 minutes of my time. I'm having fun. I'm into this world. I'm being creative, looking at the challenges, whether it's like people challenges, team challenges, products, technology, and it's great. I've met a lot of people who have come on my podcast as guests, or others who have referred other guests to me or other clients to me. So it's another way of putting yourself out there. Another networking tool that I use a lot is LinkedIn. And again, going back to what I said before, even if you don't produce a lot of content, being able to join forums and discussions means that people get to know you. And if there's someone out there that looks very interesting, right? Think about connecting with them. When we talk about getting clients and customers, it doesn't mean that the person you're talking to is probably the one that will buy from you, but they give you access to maybe the next one that will buy, or the following one. So that's why I think it's important to even use LinkedIn to network strongly, build partnerships, and whatever you can whatever you can create and work together with other people. There's one more free advice that I have for you when it comes to getting customers. But before I get to that, just a very quick recap of all of the things that we've looked at: building your brand, crowdfunding, joining community of early adopters, joining a top-notch accelerator program, offering consulting services, and networking. And of course, if you've missed the beginning, do go back and watch the episode, or listen to the episode again, because I also shared a lot of tools that I've used personally and other people I've also used, and that works really well. We are going to put a blog on this on our website, and once it's ready, the link will be on the show notes, and we will also let you know on LinkedIn, which is great because it's part of building my personal brand and the brand of my company. Now on to number 7. Well, first thing you need to do before I can give you my gift, remember, anybody that you know that can benefit from what we share in this podcast, please ask them to subscribe, share the episode to them. And if they like it, and if they want to see more, think about this, right? I'm here for you. Then why not take advantage of that? You have a question, send it to me. I answer live. I find guests and we discuss them live. You get the value from that. We all are happy. Then the last one, the last advice, think a little bit about who can help you with your tech and product development. Well, you're in luck because we've just launched a tech mentoring monthly session. I've teamed up with a bunch of amazing tech experts to answer all the questions that you have when it comes to your technology, your products, thinking go-to-market strategy, or you're thinking a little bit about, how can I monetize certain features, or how can I reduce the scope of what I'm building to launch early and get clients early. Or how about you drop into one of our sessions? Again, as I said, although we are advertising online, we have a waiting list, and we are prioritizing those on the waiting list because, of course, we can't serve everybody depending on capacity. So if you don't want to miss out, join the waiting list and just reach out to me as well, because this way I can add you on the waiting list. So that's it. Please do find out more about the networking session for tech and products. And any question that you might have, you know where to find me. In the meantime, remember my favorite advice for you and for your people: dream, build, play. Let's design a happy and productive workplace playground together.